Hey kids, I hope you enjoyed listening to Stephanie's Ponytail. I think it's a really funny book. I love Robert Munsch, the author. He has a lot of funny stories like this. But anyways, I had asked you guys to write a summary of the story, to write about, what are the main events, what are the important things that happened. And my first graders, I'm just was expecting, 3, 4 sentences. Um, my second graders, I was expecting a little more, right? Especially if you really are good with writing, then you want to be working on elaborating, on adding more and more detail, okay? So, but anyways, so I just want to have a quick conversation about that and give you an example of one that I wrote that has some elaboration. So it's a longer one. So my first graders, yours probably isn't this long, and that's fine. That's fine. But I just want to give you an example of one that's talking about those main events, right? And so anyways, so here we go. So, and yours again might not be just like mine. It won't be, but this is just an example, okay? So it says, so there's Stephanie's ponytail. And I said, first, Stephanie wears a normal ponytail to school. The students call it ugly, but she doesn't care. So that's the beginning of the story, right? That's the important thing that happens. And so hopefully you had something like that, something about how she's wearing a ponytail to school, right? And notice I used a transition word here, first. All right, so when you're writing, you want to have those transitional words, right? First, second, next, last, finally, then, those kind of words are important to include, okay? And then, so I have a transitional word here showing the next part. So it says, next, the students copy her and all have ponytails. And then instead of giving all the details about all the different kinds of ponytails she wore, I could have, but instead of that, I just sort of put it all together right here. So you can hear it here. It says, she keeps changing her ponytail, but they keep copying her. And that's true. That's what happens in the middle, right? That's the main idea, the main event of the middle. And again, if I wanted to add details, then I could then after that write like how she wore it in front of her face and how she wore it on the side and she wore it on the top of her head. But you also want to include that main idea of, okay, so she just keeps wearing it different ways and they keep copying her, right? And then I have the end of the story here. At the end, Stephanie tricks them by saying she's going to shave her head, but she doesn't. Everyone is really mad at her for that, but she thinks it's funny. And one thing I forgot to add here is that they do shave their head, right? So maybe I should add that in. So let's see. Stephanie tricks them by saying she's going to shave her head, but she doesn't. Let's see. Everyone shaves their heads and is really mad and are. Everyone shaves their heads and are really mad at her for that. Now let me change this up, so everyone shaves their heads and are really mad at her for tricking them, but she thinks it's funny. And you saw me just go back and edit. And that's what good writers do. When you're done writing, you want to go back, reread what you wrote, and see if there's anything you want to change or fix, something you forgot, or maybe you think of a word that would fit in better, or an event that you missed. For again, my second graders especially, you could go back after writing your basic paragraph and add details. For example, it could be just words or it could be whole sentences. So let's see. I said normal, okay. She keeps changing, it's good. I'm thinking of, well, if I had added, okay, so my example, if I had added about the different kinds, I could have done this. She keeps changing her ponytail, but they keep copying her. For example, she wears a ponytail on the top of her head. So that's a detail, that's an example there of saying one of the types of ponytails she wore, right? So, all right, and I think that's about it. I just wanted to, again, go over a quick discussion of writing that summary of making sure that you get the most important events. Notice I didn't talk about the little unimportant things. I didn't talk about how, like, the baby brother's laughing, or I didn't, or like how I could have added, again, even how the principal and the teachers were wearing it, but is that the most important part? No. The most important parts here, again, if I really shortened it up, where she wears a normal ponytail to school, the kids call it ugly, but then copy her, and then the kids keep copying her ponytail when she wears it in different ways, and she doesn't like it, and then she tricks them at the end into shaving their head, right? Something like that. All right. Anyways, I am excited to see your guys' summaries, whether they're short or long. I'm just excited to see your writing, okay? And make sure when you're writing to take your time, write nice and neatly, do nice, formation of your letters, do spaces in between words. Make sure to start with a capital letter and end with a period, okay? All right, so I will talk to you guys later, and I hope you all have a great day. Let's see, how do I stop this now? There's stop that. All right, bye guys.